时尚欧洲精彩呈现，观众朋友大家好，欢迎收看本期的欧洲大观，我是主持人黄杰。今天的节目都有哪些精彩看点呢？最具难度的急流挑战——极限皮划艇。布鲁塞尔特色夜店开在废弃教堂里。德国度假胜地北海皇后叙尔特岛。移动设备和应用软件已成为大多数人离不开的技术。如今，艺术家和应用软件开发者设计出让用户参与到艺术创作当中的应用软件，给艺术家的创作带来了无限的可能性。一个全新的艺术流派正在形成。
Art at your fingertips. With the EDMT app, people can create sounds and graphic elements and combine them. This combination of musical instrument and toy was developed by a Berlin artist collective, and it's just won them the prize for artistic innovation at this year's App Art Awards.
For me, it was like sort of a personal thing of kind of packaging together a lot of different things I came across as a visual artist and working with audiovisual, and just wanted to put a lot of these different concepts like into one place where people can experience these things.
The art is created by using the app. Christiana Riedel of the Center for Art and Media in Karlsruhe has kept an eye on this new art form from the very beginning.
The apps are interactive, and that's an important aspect of these artistic formats in the app world. So there are lots of artists. There's the artist who created the app, and then there's the users who become collaborators.
In Berlin, video artist James Cooey has spent months working on matching up the right sounds to his visual work. The 36-year-old has programmed the app, which he developed with musician Tilman Porschutz. The two were looking for new modes of expression and found one in the format of an app.
You can use the accelerometer, the camera, the microphone, the multi-touch elements. Those are well developed on mobile devices and are really great for us.
Apps don't just make the art experience independent of space. They also allow totally new ways for interaction thanks to the motion sensors, touch screens, cameras, and accelerometers. Artists have mostly used tablets for drawing or displaying art, like British artist David Hockney or German illustrator Amalie Neureuter. The new possibilities offered by mobile devices can usually only be discovered with the right app. One example is Borderlands Granular. Chris Carlson's combination of intuitive music instrument and sound processing won him an App Art Award in the sound category.
It's designed to be something that you can use to treat sound like it's a sculptural medium, essentially. So you're kind of painting with sound in a way.
The Center for Art and Media has supported the development of app art for years. In 2011, it handed out the first App Art Award with a prize of 10,000 euros.
From an art history perspective, apps are essentially the fulfillment of a dream, namely the dream of the moving and movable picture. Apps can now reach the entire world simultaneously, and that's a very important step in art history.
They say that art is in the eye of the beholder. But with app art, it's at the touch of the user.
据说极限皮划艇是最难的急流挑战，它比过山车还要刺激很多。澳大利亚奥茨山谷即将举办极限皮划艇世界锦标赛， 这项疯狂的运动吸引了来自30多个国家175名运动员，每名参赛运动员都想征服这里的急流，成为最优秀的运动员。
This is Austria's Ötztal Valley, an idyllic mountain panorama.
Look at this, it's really beautiful here. So quiet, but appearances can be deceiving, trust me.
This is another side of the Ötztal. This year it's home to the Extreme Kayak World Championships. 175 athletes from 30 countries are competing for the title. And here I am, in the middle of it all. Everybody's looking for the zig line, the ideal course through the rapids.
This is one of the toughest whitewater routes in the world. Some parts are called Champions Killer or Go Left or Die. Who wants to volunteer for stuff like this? Me, but to be honest, at the moment, I'm not quite sure if this is a really good idea for me to try this out.
To survive this challenge, I'm obviously going to need help from the professionals here. I'm pretty nervous. They recommend that I strengthen my mental powers, eat healthy food, and I will also need a bit of luck.
I've got a lucky charm. I've got all my stuff in my DW bag. Deutsche Welle. That means German wave. Hello, that must be good omen.
This is the first year that they will be crowning a women's world champion in this event. Norway's Marianne Seether is one of the top candidates.
I do it because it's really fun. It's a very clear challenge to yourself. And of course, when you do it nicely, you feel very successful.
If I want to try this out, what will you tell me?
I think you should go with someone that's experienced and that can teach you the basics, because you can't go alone. We want to give you that confidence.
And who could do that better than a 3-time world champion? New Zealand's Sam Sutton is at the top of his game.
Sam, be honest, what was the worst thing that happened to you?
The closest call I've had is a few times I've just been held underwater for almost a minute or so, and then you're starting to wonder if this is it. But apart from that, I've just broken my nose several times. You can kind of see it right there. It's probably the most crooked nose I've ever seen.
Nevertheless, you need this adrenaline charge.
You want the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward kind of thing, and that feeling of adrenaline that flows through your veins is it's very addictive.
How does it feel like?
It feels really similar to when you try to land a plane. It's exactly the same feeling, but you're just going down way faster. Some kayakers say they don't get any fear, but I think that's wrong. I think everybody naturally has fear, but it's about analysing the risk and seeing, like, am I going to make it, and believing in yourself, and you can feel it. So we're going to go out and we're going to see in a tandem kayak if you've got what it takes to potentially be the queen of zig line for 2016.
Yeah!
We are checking our gear one last time before we head out, in case we flip over.
Obviously, if you're sitting up and I'm trying to roll us, I've got your whole upper body weight to try lift, to try roll.
Okay, so I have to make me small.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm really, really nervous because I know there's some waterfalls around the corner.
And we're off. The water is cold, only about 5 degrees Celsius. And I soon find out how that feels when we do our first Eskimo roll. Now I'm sure that it couldn't get any worse, but I'm proven wrong when we get to the steep decline. I'm going down.
This was definitely the craziest, but also the best thing I ever tried out. And I thought a roller coaster was scary, but trust me, a roller coaster is really boring. Oh my god, thank you so much.
Nice job. Crushed it.
And I'm still alive.
Back to the competition. Norway's Marianne Seether won the first women's title. Here's Sam Sutton out on the course. And he ends up in 3rd place overall.
Congratulations!
And I am also as happy as can be. This experience was really something. I might still be telling my children and grandchildren about it when I'm old and grey.
瞬间穿越到另外一个世界，与游戏融为一体。这些曾经只能想象的场景，如今在科隆国际游戏展上得以实现。秘密就在虚拟现实眼镜，虚拟现实已成为游戏展上的焦点，带来一场视频游戏变革。让我们一起来经历这场变革吧。
Imagine closing your eyes to everything around you and opening them again on a tropical beach. Once the stuff of fantasy, now virtual reality. Perfect Beach is the creation of a British game developer, Dreams. The company focuses exclusively on virtual world games. It's considered a pioneer in the construction of animated 3D landscapes.
The biggest differences in developing for VR is the fact that the player can look at everything we've made from every angle, every imaginable possible angle. And previously, when we used to make games for standard monitors, you could get away with taking parts out or hiding the reverse side of an object. So now we have to be a little bit more smart in how we do things where that's concerned.
Dream's latest game is a thriller called The Assembly. Players make their way through the virtual world by simply moving their eyes, or the old-fashioned way, by joystick. The impression of 3 dimensions is created by 2 slightly different images in the virtual reality glasses display. The player's brain reassembles the images in 3D, creating the illusion of actually being present in the animated world. Dream's CEO Patrick Oluwane has no doubt that this is the future of video gaming.
We just fell in love with VR. We love the feeling of presence, the feeling that you're teleported to another world. The thing about VR that makes it so special is that you're not a spectator looking from outside. You're in the action. You're looking around. You actually feel like you're there, and that makes things like emotions very powerful. Fear and happiness and excitement and all sorts of other emotions are much stronger in VR. So that's the reason that we fell in love with it.
He and his co-workers are hoping gamers in Germany and elsewhere will fall in love with virtual reality as well. Hundreds of thousands of them have descended on Cologne for Gamescom, the world's largest computer and video games trade fair. Many are willing to stand in line for hours to catch a glimpse of the latest releases. Laura Bierling from Augsburg is a dedicated gamer. She comes to Cologne every year to try out the latest innovations. But this is the first time she's ever tried virtual reality glasses.
It's something completely new. I play video games on the PC myself, so this kind of game is a stark contrast. You can look around in every direction. After a while, it puts quite a strain on your eyes. I get a headache really fast. This feeling is always there. The graphics just aren't advanced enough yet.
But gaming is only one potential application for virtual reality glasses. The University of Regensburg Institute of Psychology is exploring the use of virtual worlds as a therapeutic tool. Here, patients learn to overcome their fear of heights. Criminologists, too, have been experimenting with VR simulations. The University of Zurich's Institute of Forensic Medicine compiles data to reconstruct crime scenes in 3D. Investigators can then walk through it using virtual reality glasses. The head-mounted displays and graphics are not perfect just yet, but teams at the likes of Sony, HTC, Oculus Rift, and German optical systems maker Zeiss are working feverishly to put out a marketable pair of VR glasses. So what comes next?
The entire business, myself included, is certain that this is no flash in the pan. How fast we can make a real success of virtual reality glasses depends on the price and whether there will be cheaper entry-level models. I'm convinced there will be, and how fast convincing game worlds are developed for them.
It's only a matter of time before VR glasses are ready for the mass market. The makers still have to work out how to prevent motion sickness, but the first displays are set to hit the stores within months. Until then, we'll just have to put up with everyday reality.
位于布鲁塞尔的马丁尼夜店，它的前身是一座废弃的圣公会教堂。一名设计师和他的团队在这里搭建起了 DJ 工作的阁楼，将原来唱诗班所在的位置改造成了酒吧。他们克服了高度和空间等问题，改变了之前教堂内部的单一结构，赋予这座古老的建筑新的生命。
Brussels, capital and administrative hub of the European Union. The people who work here are international, and they look for entertainment at weekends. In December 2009, the Spirito Martini night spot opened for business in a deconsecrated Anglican church in downtown Rue de Stassart. A club offering lounges, dance floors, restaurants and bars for 850 guests. It was a challenge for designer Will Ahrens that could only be met by using the aura of the old to create an atmosphere for the new.
I always talk like we, the Pure Sang team, we look at a project completely different. We don't say like how we're gonna design it, but we're gonna try to create a story. That's why we say like we are tactile storytellers. The tactile is standing for using as much different surfaces to give the whole space a three-dimensional feel. And the story is always nice, even when the story is invented.
The church was gutted, but the dimensions and the structure of the building remained unchanged. The idea of illuminating the entire interior is to use the full height of the space like a stage. The lighting design takes up the story and figurative details of the building. The shapes reference the rose window and Gothic Christian motifs. Francesco Rava recalls how much work went into this project.
Moi, j'ai commencé ici en avril 2007.
I started here in April 2007. I found the place through acquaintances. It was completely abandoned. There was nothing here at all. The church ceased to exist more than 50 years ago. But when I saw it, I saw a place that cried out to be renovated, restored, transformed and filled with people. Little by little I pieced together an idea. More than 20 years ago, I saw the Limelight in New York, which was a disco in a church. But I didn't want to make a disco. I wanted a restaurant, bar, lounge and function hall.
Mezzanines were constructed, providing space for the DJ at the altar end of the nave and an additional bar at the choir end. New galleries narrow the space below and make it less cavernous and more intimate. But how do you make a church feel homely? The design challenge is not just to tackle the problems of height and volume of space. All the people down below, in space once occupied by altar and pews, need to be dispersed. In place of the single church interior, they need to find the many small spaces and zones that make up a bar. The Spirito Martini has 3 bars and 5 lounges.
We said like God is a DJ. It's a nice song, so we said DJ up here. This area will be dance floor, and then the bars, we needed enough bars to serve all these people, what I told you before. So we created a bar here, a bar separate for the VIP, and then behind the corner here we had another wall. You went up like this onto the second level.
Lighting design and dramaturgical clarity are the keys to the concept's success. The spiritual aura of the space is deliberately not denied. On the contrary, it is positively emphasized. So the building's theatrical purpose is not lost because of its reinvention as a club. It is simply put to a modern use.
德国最北部的叙尔特岛临近北海海岸，有绵延40公里的金色沙滩和丰富的自然遗产，使这里深受冲浪爱好者和自然爱好者的欢迎。日落之时，在沙滩上享受露天晚餐，欣赏落日美景，远离喧嚣的城市。下面我们就带您一起去感受一下这个充满浪漫色彩的小岛，让我们一起去尽情地放松一下吧。
Sylt is Germany's northernmost island. With its 40 kilometers of golden sand, it's popular with nature lovers and a fabulous getaway for fans of sea and surf. Located just off the North Sea coast, Sylt hosts a range of water sports contests each year. In the largest town, Westerland, for example. Dutch kitesurfer Annie van Esch de Jong loves the island.
I really like the nature here in the north and the south, the dead spots for kitesurfing. Then 2 days ago we've been surfing between the seals, so that was really wonderful. And I like it here because you can go shopping and you can do everything here.
Nestled in the dunes on the west side, you'll find a veritable island institution, Wohne 16. The beachfront restaurant has been a favorite of locals and visitors alike since 1981. Everyone comes here from students to executives to enjoy locally caught fish. The crew head out every morning in their little fishing boat, and a few hours later, the first tasty mackerels are in the fryer.
Mackerel is full of omega-3 fatty acids and very wholesome.
The Ströenwei Strip in the upscale resort of Kampen. But it's not just the rich and famous who flock here. Sylt is a popular destination among vacationers from all walks of life, almost 900,000 in all every year. In peak season, the 3,000 wicker beach chairs in Westerland are fully booked. Sylt has a rich natural heritage. The dunes covering a third of the island are 3,000 years old. Wild grass, thistle, and wild roses stabilize the dunes and protect against storm surges. Thatched roofs are another typical feature of Sylt. The finest examples are found in the town of Kaitum. They're several centuries old, most of them built by sailors. The roofs are made out of dried reeds.
The reeds down in the Wadden Sea were ideal for these houses. In the summer it offers great insulation from the heat and in winter from the cold.
The Wadden Sea tidal mudflats extend across much of the coast of the North Sea. It's the largest ecosystem of its kind on the planet and a paradise for nature lovers. Sylt is also a popular choice among the romantically inclined. In the evening, there are countless beaches where at sunset you can enjoy a private al fresco dinner for two. Some restaurants and hotels will put together a picnic basket on request.
Sitting out here watching the sunset with the sky over the water and the people, it's unique. The island is a real refuge from the city. You can turn off your phone and just relax.
And when it comes to relaxation, Sylt is in a class of its own.
士登山家史蒂芬·西格里斯特发现了喜马拉雅山脉3座从未被征服过的山峰。这位瑞士登山家曾沿着不同的路线数10次登上阿尔卑斯山脉的马特洪峰。目前，他和他的团队正在印度克什米尔地区准备开展一场未知的探险。这里有很多未被攀登过的山峰，等待他的发现。
An expedition into the unknown. Stefan Siegrist has his sights set on climbing a mountain in Kashmir that bears a strong resemblance to the Matterhorn in his native Switzerland, a striking pyramid the locals call Bala.
You know that every rock you touch has never been touched by another human being. No one has ever stood here before. Naturally, that is an exceptional technical and logistical challenge. It's extremely exciting. You're continuously facing unpredictable situations.
Every step on the ascent harbors a surprise. The region is uncharted territory. Distances are hard to gauge. When the climbers reach the summit, their altimeter reads 5,900 meters.
You're advancing into a region and feel like you're going back in time to the golden age of European alpinism. That era ended in 1865 with the ascent of the Matterhorn, the last remaining unclimbed summit in the Alps. But here, there are certainly more than 2 unclimbed Matterhorns.
The Matterhorn in Switzerland is Stefan Siegrist's backyard. He scaled the mountain dozens of times on all possible routes. He set the records for the fastest ascent of the Eiger in both winter and summer. Everywhere in the world, he has successfully scaled the most difficult mountain faces. Nowadays, his preferred view of the Matterhorn is from the valley.
The fact is that this mountain doesn't offer any logical routes for a major first ascent anymore. You can still experience smaller scale adventures, but because the infrastructure is so built up, with so many cable cars, they can only be classified as soft adventures. Nowadays, if you're looking for a real adventure, you have to travel far.
That's what he did, to Kavan in northern India's Kashmir region. Villagers helped Stefan and his team set up a base camp at 4,000 meters. It's the starting point for their ascent. At the summit of the Bala, they spot another unscaled mountain that awakens their ambitions. They decide to tackle another first ascent. Suddenly, bad weather threatens to strike. A sleepless night in the camp.
You can't stop thinking about the best way to do it, the safest way to get up there. And then you start thinking, why am I even still doing this? Why are you taking such an extreme risk? But it's just my passion. You have to weigh up what the right thing to do is, if there's even such a thing.
The climbers are lucky. The weather doesn't change and they reach the summit without a hitch. Buoyed by their success, they decide to tackle a third, smaller peak. The climb turns out to be one of the most enjoyable in Stefan's career.
An amazing day. An amazing view. We found an awesome peak here.
Now it's time to head down into the valley. First, the climbers help the villagers with their harvest. Then they learn more about the way of life in this remote part of Kashmir that hasn't hosted foreigners in 80 years.
They were astonished that I have nothing better to do in life than climb mountains. Their culture showed me that people who live very simply can be very happy with what they have, seeing how well they get along with one another. It was a valuable experience for me, and a glimpse of this other kind of world would benefit many others.
Stefan Siegrist is certain he'll be returning to Kashmir soon, because there are more unscaled summits waiting to be discovered.
时尚欧洲精彩呈现，感谢您收看本期的欧洲大观，我是黄杰，下期同一时间我们再见。